Hi, my name is Emery, and I'm the Youth Services Manager at Beach City's Health District. Thanks for joining me today for our first LiveWell Kids Nutrition lesson of the year. We have a fun session planned, so let's get started. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with the word mindfulness. Perhaps you practice mindfulness at home or school. Mindfulness is paying attention to what's going on right now. It means slowing down to really notice what you're doing. Mindfulness is being aware of how your body feels. One way to practice mindfulness is to be mindfully eating. All of us at times have done mindless eating, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. However, what I'm most excited to share with you are the benefits of mindful eating and how you can do this at home, school, a restaurant, even a party. Today, we'll practice mindful eating by doing a food tasting together. The idea of mindfulness especially applies to something we do every day, eating. If we're eating while we're distracted, we risk eating more, sometimes even faster than we should. This is why mindful eating is so important. By taking time before we eat and using all 5 senses to experience our food, we can prevent overeating or speed eating through the process, which is uncomfortable for our bodies. When we eat mindfully, we pay attention to what we eat, when we eat, and how we eat. Let's start with what we eat. We want to put good nutrition in our bodies. It's important that we eat lots of colorful fruits and vegetables to help our bodies grow and stay healthy. We'll talk more about these healthy foods during our next lesson. In the meantime, think about a rainbow and try to eat fruits and vegetables that are a variety of different colors. Examples include red apples, orange carrots, yellow pineapple, green cucumber, just to name a few. And for the foods that are maybe not as healthy, we just want to be mindful to not have them as often and not as much. It's also important to notice when we eat. We should be mindful and eat when we're hungry, and not when we're experiencing an emotion like being bored, sad, or even angry. We need to really listen to our bodies so we know when we're hungry. Our bodies will naturally give us clues if we pay attention. Finally, we also need to think about how we eat. This means paying attention and not being distracted by common things around the house, like the television, a phone and tablet, or video games. We should use all of our senses when we eat. Eyes to see, nose to smell, mouth to taste, ears to hear, and hands to feel. This can help us appreciate our food and taste all the flavors. We'll practice this when we do our mindful taste. So this what, when, and how that we just spoke about is what determines the difference between mindless and mindful eating. That was clearly an example of mindless eating. If we're eating while we're distracted, we tend to eat more and sometimes even faster than we should. This is why mindful eating is so important. By taking time before we eat and using all 5 senses to experience our food, we can prevent overeating. The good news is there are things that we can do to help be more mindful when it comes to eating. Consider giving these a try. Turn electronics off, not eating in front of the television or with your smartphone or tablet. not eating right out of the bag or container. Use portion control practices and take some out and put it in a bowl. Sit down in a designated and appropriate eating area instead of on the run or while standing. Use all of your senses, paying attention to flavors and chewing slowly. Now that we've reviewed what eating mindfully means, we're going to go practice using our senses and experiencing a healthy tasting. Before we go any further, make sure you have with you a fruit or vegetable that you've chosen. I love strawberries, so I have one here with me. And as a reminder, before we jump into our food tasting, a big part of mindful eating is to be respectful with our food and respect that people have different tastes. There's so many different foods out there. Some of you've tried, some you haven't, some you like, and maybe some you don't. So no matter what, we don't ever want to yuck someone else's yum, because we all have our own unique individual taste buds. Keep an open mind and give things a try by at least taking one bite. And remember, try to use all of your senses. Let's start with what we see. What is the food's name? How was it grown? On a tree, bush, vine, or even underground? Notice the size, shape, and color of the food. Now slowly smell the food. Does the scent remind you of a place, a person, or experience? How would you describe this scent? Does it smell sweet, strong, or spicy? Use your finger and touch the food. Does it feel soft, spongy, hard, or slippery? How does it feel in your hand? Heavy or light? Now for tasting and hearing. Take a bite of the food and let it sit on your tongue. Pay attention to how it feels in your mouth. Bite slowly and chew just a few times, but don't swallow. Notice the flavors. Is it sour, bitter, sweet, salty? Do you hear anything? Is the food crunchy or squishy? Is it making any noise when you chew? Keep chewing slowly several times, but don't swallow yet. Does the taste change as you chew? When you're ready to swallow, feel the food going down into your stomach. Can you feel the food moving down your body? Great job, everyone. You've successfully completed a mindful tasting exercise. Thanks for joining me today. I enjoyed exploring mindful eating with you. Now that you're on your way to becoming a mindful eating expert, remember to keep practicing and share these ideas with your family and friends on how to mindfully experience food. See you next time, and bye for now.